Hi everybody, and welcome to Mindset Learn Extra Exam Revision, the place where you can get the information you need to excel in your final exams. Now today we're going to be talking about the accounting paper, and we're very fortunate to be joined by Bongi from the Gauteng Department of Education. She's the accounting coordinator. Welcome, Bongi.
Thank you, Dylan.
It's very good to have you.
Thank you. I just want to take this opportunity again to thank Mindset for allowing us to have this discussion with our learners and our teachers for accounting in grade 12.
That's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Let's dive straight in.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the accounting paper. How many marks is the accounting paper worth?
Okay, the accounting paper has 300 marks. The 300 marks is divided into 6 questions.
Right.
Because each and every paper has got 6 questions.
Okay.
Learners have to cover and answer all those 6 questions
no
within 3 hours.
Right, right.
There is no choice.
So it's 300 marks in 3 hours and you must answer all 6 questions.
Yes, you must answer all 6 questions.
And then tell us a little bit about the topics that learners need to make sure they understand when they come to write accounting.
Okay. Accounting is divided into 3 learning outcomes. We can call them sections for the sake of understanding.
Yeah.
We can call them sections. So it's going to be financial accounting, managerial accounting, and managing resources. So the most important one, they are all important, but the most important one is financial accounting because it takes close to 60% of the paper.
Really?
Which means if the learner can master financial accounting, can be able to get 180 marks out of the 300. So now, what you need to know as a learner, you need to know what is under financial accounting. Your bank recon is under financial accounting. Debtors and creditors recon. You also have to know VAT. The main important section there is companies. You need to cover everything on companies. You need to know your company ledger accounts. You need to know your final accounts in companies. You need to know the financial statement. The financial statement are very important. Under financial statement, we've got to cover income statement. Make sure that you know the income statement, you know how to do the adjustments, the important adjustment you have gone through, you have studied, and you have practiced those adjustments. And then you also have to know your balance sheet. Balance sheet plus notes to the financial statement. We've got notes to the balance sheet and we also have notes to the income statement. So know all those notes. It is very important. And there is this also a very popular question, the cash flow statement. I know each and every learner and every teacher, they know that there is no paper without the cash flow statement. You need to know and understand your cash flow.
So there's going to be a question on cash flow.
Cash flow statement it's a short question. It's a definite question. It's always there. And notes to the cash flow statement. Not forgetting the analysis and interpretation, because once you have mastered your income statement, your balance sheet, and the notes to the income statement and balance sheet, you need to analyze and interpret.
Okay, very important, I presume.
The 3 financial statements need to be analyzed. How do you analyze them? You must know your ratios. You must know the formula. You must be able to substitute on the formula, and you must be able to make a comment.
Do learners need to memorize these formulas, or are they given in a formula sheet?
They are not given a formula sheet. They need to understand the formulas. Some, they prefer to memorize them, but I usually say to them, you need to understand what is expected, what is needed in the formula, so that you'll be able to substitute the information that you are given there.
Excellent.
That is learning outcome 1.
So that's all just the first section of the paper.
That is the first section which counts 60%.
And then the next
And then the next one, managerial accounting. Under managerial accounting, you always have the manufacturing ledger accounts. You need to know your ledger accounts there for you to be able to do your production cost statement. Because the production cost statement is there. It's a short question. It's going to be there. Production cost statement. You must know it. The break even. You must be able to calculate the break even point, and you must also be able to calculate the unit cost. That is a learning outcome 2. Not forgetting the budgets. Know your cash budget. And also know the debtors and creditors collection schedule. Once you know that, at least you shall have covered learning outcome 1 and learning outcome 2. And then under learning outcome 3, managing resources, must know your stock, the stock valuation there. You must know the first in, first out method, and you must know how to calculate using the weighted average method. Not forgetting, again, your internal control and your code of professional conduct, yes.
So if the first section counts 60% of the paper, do the other two sections share the balance,
Yes,
the 40%?
they share the 40%. LO2 takes 20 to 25%, and then LO3 also takes 20 to 25%.
Okay.
So you need to master all that.
All of that?
Yes.
Well, excellent. And then tell us a little bit about your advice to learners as they start to prepare to write accounting. What should learners be doing?
Okay, at the moment, the advice that I would give to them is for them to go through the past question papers. Firstly, they mustn't go and do the whole question paper, the whole 6 questions in a question paper. You've got the income statement and the balance sheet. Those questions are short questions in the question paper.
Yeah.
Try to answer maybe from 3 or 4 question papers, the income statement, in all the 4 question papers, if
okay.
you've got 4, the balance sheet, notes, cash flow. Take section by section from each and every question until you feel comfortable with that topic.
Okay.
If you are dealing with income statement, deal with income statement.
Across all of your papers?
Yes. And then if you are dealing with balance sheet, you are dealing with cash flow, just do that. After you are sure that now you can master all those sections, now sit down, time yourself, make sure that you follow the time allocated in the question paper, because what we do in accounting, we allocate them time.
Okay.
We say question 1, 20 marks, you need to spend so many minutes.
Yeah.
So try to adhere to that time. See if you can be able to finish question 1 within the stipulated time there.
Okay.
And if you can't finish it, don't sit on that question, move to the next question. Again, look at the time, check how many minutes are we supposed to spend. You don't have to answer question 1, question 2. You can start with question 3, go back to question 4, as long as you're going to answer all the
6.
questions.
Right.
Make sure that you are comfortable. We know that there are topics whereby when you open the question, you'll be comfortable with that. If you are comfortable with starting with question 6, it's fine. Start with question 6 and then go back, but make sure that within 3 hours, we are able to finish all the 6 questions.
So you would advise that learners get to a point where they are sitting themselves in practice exam situations.
Yes.
And they get used to writing under that time pressure.
Yes, and afterwards they sit, spend 3 hours, see if they can finish the
Okay.
paper within 3 hours.
Okay.
And then that is the most important thing, because you find that our learners, they write question 1 up to question 5. When we mark mainly question 6 is not even attempted by most of the learners, because you could see that they've spent more time doing
The earlier questions.
the earlier
Right,
questions,
right.
and then they ignore the last one, and you find that it was going to earn them more marks, because sometimes it's an easy one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then would you advise learners to study together or to study alone, or maybe to do a little bit of both?
Because now they are preparing for their prelim exams. If they can study as a group, they will benefit.
Is it?
Definitely they will benefit.
Okay.
But towards writing the exam, maybe 2-3 days before, it is best to study alone, so
Okay.
that at least you know what you know. We are
Right.
able to see what you can manage.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is best maybe during the last 3-4 days, be alone. Make sure that you do your work alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where can learners get hold of past accounting papers?
We've got all the question papers in our website. If they can go to www.education.gov.za, they must click there and follow the link. They will get all it's close to 10 to 12 question papers that we
Okay.
have now.
All aligned to the NCS?
All aligned from 2008 up to
Okay.
now, because
Okay.
we've got the final exam, the supplementary, some way replacing other question papers. We've got a lot there.
So there's really a wealth of exam papers. to get.
Yes,
Can
yes.
learners also approach their teachers to help them get copies of these papers?
Yes. Most of the schools are giving out these question papers. In those schools where the learners cannot access internet,
Right.
the schools, they do provide those question papers. And we also have some programs that are running on Saturdays. They can still go to those teachers on Saturdays. They can ask them to supply them with those question papers.
And are there any other kinds of resources that you would advise learners go through to as part of their study program?
I think at the moment, because they've done and they've covered all the topics, the best thing is to sit on the exam papers.
And just to
Let them
practice
practice now. They just
Okay.
need to practice. As they are practicing, the teachers are there. They are available to clarify some of the things to them. They mustn't sit at home and try and study alone. as a group, you go to school, sit there, practice, your teacher is there to help you. But if you're sitting at home, no one will be helping you at home.
So if you
But
do get stuck, you're all on your own.
yeah, on yes, and you won't be able to get solutions there. But if you go to schools, the other classmates can also help. The teachers are there to help.
Excellent.
Yeah. So let them sit as a group now, but sitting at the school, not at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the day that learners write accounting,
Yeah.
what's your advice? How should they sort of mentally or physically prepare for the exam?
Yeah. When you practice accounting, accounting is about practicing. If you are writing the next day, please make sure that you sleep enough.
Okay.
Don't sleep very late.
Would you advise that learners eat a big breakfast, a small breakfast?
They mustn't eat a big breakfast.
Not a big breakfast.
Just a light breakfast to
Okay.
take you through 3 hours. And then after 3 hours, you'll be fine. Because once you are full and you tired, sometimes, hey, it's going to bring all these
Might
things.
get a bit sleepy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So just a light breakfast. Make sure that you have your breakfast. Don't go there without having your breakfast.
Okay,
Make sure
okay.
that you have your breakfast. You go there, 8:30, you are seated.
What kind of stationery do learners need to bring? to the
Definitely
accounting?
a calculator. They
calculator.
must have a calculator. They must have a pen. They must have a pencil. Although we don't encourage them to use the pencil, but in case they want to use the pencil, they are allowed to
Okay.
use a pencil.
Okay.
A pen, a pencil, a calculator.
They should probably bring a couple of pens to the paper just in case.
Yes, in case one fails them, and
Yeah.
then they can still use another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
but they must not use the Tipex. They must. It's a no.
No Tipex.
No Tipex. It's not
Why-
allowed.
why not?
It's because it makes your work very clumsy, and we're dealing with monies. Yeah, you know, figures. Sometimes you Tipex the figure, and then you write on top of it. You can't see anymore
Okay.
what figure
'Cause it
was.
smudges and things like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah.
So I imagine that it's quite important that learners, when they're writing, are aware of the fact that this is going to be marked by a marker. And you
Yes.
want to obviously present work that's neat and tidy and legible.
Yes, that is
Okay.
true. Yes, yeah. And one other advice that I would give to our learners, when they do the income statement, the balance sheet, they must avoid foreign items. They must also avoid misplacing items. When I talk of foreign items, if you don't know your formats, know the format of the income statement, know the format of the balance sheet, and know the format of the cash flow, so that you don't misplace any items.
Okay.
Because once you misplace, you are losing mark. Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for all of the information that you've given us. I hope that it's been useful to all of you guys and that you can take this information and succeed in your final accounting paper. Until next time, cheers.